Right, let's get chatting about all things commodities. Manisha Gupta joins in. Manisha, you're talking metals today. The stocks are doing well.
Well, the stocks of metals are doing well, but I do want to keep my focus on the 2,000 rupee note because that is what we seem to be talking on show in breaks all the time right now. So joining us then is Chirag Sheth. He's Principal Consultant, South Asia at Metal Focus, and he tracks gold very, very closely. Chirag, I'm sure this is still early days, and but the over weekend, the panic was much higher. Today, when we speak to jewelers, they tell us that there are more conversations and there are more inquiries, but lesser conversions. So not that many people seem to be flocking the Zaveri Bazaar type of areas across country.
That's true, Manisha. Absolutely. I think, the panic was more just as people, realized that suddenly, RBI is likely to demonetize the currency notes. But as more and more, hours passed by, there was more clarity on that this is not sort of a demonetization. It's more of that the notes would still be in circulation, would be a legal tender, but RBI may not issue it in future. So you are absolutely right. This is not a 2016 kind of scenario where we saw absolute panic in the market. This was more short-term in nature. And as days pass by, you will see more or less demand for gold probably to be converted into the currency.
Chirag, in India, since the market seems to be getting more and more organized, you have KYCs, you have limits of 50,000 for a KYC, 2 lakh rupees for a PAN card, and then you have GST coming in. There also is BIS hallmarking now. So there isn't like so much cash can really float around. But just to get a sense, usually when you look at this market in India, would you say it is a 60-40 or a 70-30? I mean, that the work that gets done in cash even now?
No, so I think, Manisha, it's important to probably look at what form this is coming in. So while still, large part of our purchase is in cash, and you were right, it could be 60-70% of our transactions still happens in cash, but a large part of this cash gets into the banking system because the jeweler that would receive this cash would then eventually deposit, the money in the bank. So while the transactions are happening in cash, it is getting deposited into the banking system. I think where the entire transaction is in cash is where, unofficial supply of gold is involved. And here, I think, given the fact that we've got probably one of the highest incidence of taxes in the world, where there is 15% import duty and roughly 3% GST, total, I think, tax is roughly 18.5%. When such high level of taxes are involved, you will see, a bit of flows of unofficial gold coming into the market, and that's where the actual chain moves through cash. So that is something which is more worrying rather than, people purchasing gold via cash.
Chirag, also talk to us about the fact that this year clearly hasn't been so great when you look at gold sales. I mean, for the month of April, even the imports fell by 45%. Now that there is some cash to dispose, not too much as we keep being told, but do you see the next 2, 3, 4 months slightly better, even if the ticket size is smaller, more gold and silver will get sold?
So look, yes, slightly better, but I would not say it is because of this cash thing in a 2,000 rupee note. Because, one way to compare it is that in 2016, during the time of demonetization, the premiums in the market were roughly 30-40%. Currently, for anybody who wants to convert their 2,000 rupees notes into gold, the premium is roughly 4 to 5%. So it's not big. We are kind of more positive because as gold prices kind of reduces in the international market as well as domestic market, and with the onset of monsoon, you will see a bit of demand coming back to the market.
Chirag, also, I mean, we keep talking about gold, but silver is yet another commodity which seems to be getting quite bought into, especially the prices are lucrative. From the highs, we've seen it come to almost a 72,000 rupees or there within. What are the buying opportunities that you see here as well?
Yes, so, we've seen a bit of price correction, and both, gold and silver are kind of seeing a bit of increase. Imports for silver has also improved. However, nothing like what we saw last year. So my sense is, Manisha, unless and until silver prices fall by another 5 to 6%, you will not see that big rush for demand in the silver market.
Fair point. Chirag, I have one final question, and we do understand that there are almost approximate 4 lakh jewelers in the Indian markets. I mean, this is perhaps your or World Gold Council report. How much would you say is now an organized sector in India?
That's a good question. I think, probably 60 to 70% is organized. Still, a large part of 20 to 25% of jewelers are essentially money lenders who do not even sell a kg of gold, in a year. So I would say 60 to 70% of the industry is now organized, and probably in the next couple of years, with PMLA now coming in and all the things that we spoke about, this is going to be a 80 to 90% organized trade in next 5 years' time.
All right, Chirag, Manisha, thank you so much for joining in and giving us all the updates on what's taking place in the jewellery market. Both Sonia and I, we were just wondering, with the 2,000 rupee note that we have, all we could afford was Zomato gold and nothing else.
Speak
and that
for yourself.
Okay, for myself, all right, okay. I mean, for myself, I would say I afford no more than a Marie gold biscuit. That's the only gold biscuit that I would buy. But